I didn't think fat, but the rest of that, yeah, that was what was in my head. How's it going, YouTube lovers? This is the Evil Nightmare. Welcome back to another video where today I'm doing the reaction video. Today I'm reacting to more of Epithet Erased, Prison of Plastic. This is the audiobook preview that was uploaded to YouTube. Last time we reacted to the first two prologues of the book, and I did actually go ahead and check this real fast. I looked it up. There are actually 4 prologues in this book, which means that there's only 2 actual chapters in this 6-chapter preview, which I'm okay with, because so far, with the 2 prologues that we reacted to last time. First one was bringing Molly back and also introducing us properly to her friends, Phoenica and Trixie. I'm definitely going to get Phoenica's name wrong multiple times. My brain keeps wanting to say Phoenicia, but that's not it. And then the second one, Prologue B, brought back Giovanni, and it showed him with his minions, his former Bonsai Blasters, because he's decided to start his own organization after the events of Redwood Run. And he did say at the end that he wants to reunite with Bear Trap, aka Molly. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. I think those characters are awesome. So I guess today that means we're probably going to be reacting to Prologue C and Prologue D. I am very much enjoyed this world. It is so much fun, and being able to continue checking this out with the audiobook preview and then eventually doing an Eve's Book Club video on the actual book itself, I think is just so much fun. I'm glad I get to check this out. I'm really, really excited to read this book, but I also love the fact that I can listen to the audiobook here on YouTube, at least for the first intro part here, because then it means that I know how these characters sound, I know what these characters look like, and I'll have that all in my head as I'm reading the book. Because I am one who, when I'm reading a book, I am a very visual person, so I imagine the events of the book playing out like a movie in my head. So getting like the reference for like visual and audio here with voices and appearance is going to be making reading this book even more fun than I was already looking forward to it. And again, the audiobook actually fits this really well because the characters already described their actions in the show because it was based off of a tabletop campaign like D&D or something like that. I don't think it was exactly D&D. It was called Anime Campaign. But the fact that they already described their actions in the show means that having the book where the creator is narrating it, and then we still have the voice actors voicing the characters, it just feels very natural. Again, it is a shame that there isn't going to be more actual animated content, like actual episodes. There might be like animated shorts, I feel like, but animated episodes that are not going to be anymore, it seems like. But I'm glad that the audiobook can really continue the spirit of the way that this story has been told, and I'm looking forward to more. I believe that the creator said that he's planning to finish like 3 more books, and at least 1 or 2 of them are going to be adaptations of what we've already seen, but then the other one in theory should be a sequel to Prison of Plastic. So it may not be out this year, but if I'm still enjoying the story, which I probably will because I love these characters, there might be some more videos on Epithet Erased coming in probably 2027 or 2028, depending on, hopefully 2027. Hopefully it doesn't take that long for the books to be published and everything. And it'd be cool if he did another audiobook preview like this. If he does another one of these for whatever the sequel to Prison of Plastic is, I will absolutely check it out the same way I'm checking this out. But anyway, let's go ahead before I'm already rambling too long. This is going to be a long video anyway because we're checking out another 2 chapters, probably the next 2 prologues, if the information I looked up is accurate. So let's jump into this and see what other setup we're going to get for this story.
Prologue, the Rabbit Knight.
I don't recognize that voice. That's a new voice, I think. Oh gosh. That sounds like a monster.
A thunderous roar echoed across a blood-red sky. Otherworldly pink clouds exploded into mist as the shockwave of sound tore through them.
Oh gosh.
Peals of white lightning crisscrossed the heavens like spider webs.
Where is this?
A massive figure rose in front of the sun. A colossal reptilian monster standing.
Oh my gosh, that is a huge silhouette on the side of the screen.
Nothing ran from the creature. This was a dead land, silent and black. The plants and animals had burned away long ago.
Oh my,
Nothing
some kind of like
now but the harsh stone of
volcanic
scorched earth,
apocalypse, it
jagged
seems
and
like.
obsidian. A forest of petrified spires that might have once been trees stretched out towards the sky like hands, reaching for salvation.
Ooh, that's a nice description. I like that.
Futile chance at mercy. Perhaps today, their calls would finally be answered. A lone figure strode through the iron forest. A knight covered head to toe in a suit of perfectly polished silver armor with a sword to match at her side.
A sword?
Her outfit practically glowed against the black velvet landscape. Each clink of her metal boots resonated like a melody in this songless land. She put a hand on the hilt of her blade and called to the creature.
At last.
Oh,
She said,
is this Molly's
After
sister?
10 long years, my crusade has finally ended.
Her helmet looks like rabbit ears. Oh, that's a cool monster.
Voice.
Something spoke from everywhere and nowhere at once. A voice so deep and ancient that it seemed the very earth itself was speaking with her. The monstrous pillar that blocked out the sky rotated until a single blood-red eye appeared, shining down on her with hatred.
I like the design of this thing. It's not quite a dragon, but it's almost like a volcanic iguana, the way it looks.
The Rabbit Knight.
Rabbit Knight. Yeah, again, the
thing
ears.
laughed. A horrid, reeking, guttural laugh, like a rancid cauldron about to boil over.
Have you come to avenge your tiny village?
Is her sister like role-playing or something? What is
I
this?
have.
Many before you have tried, and all have met their fate between my fangs and my flame. You shall be no different.
Not so, dragon.
The knight said.
I mean, I guess it's technically a dragon. It doesn't really look like a dragon from this. Like I said, it looks more like an iguana. I mean, dragons are technically reptilian, but still.
I've gained the king's favor. I have single-handedly made my way through these scorched lands.
This sounds like some kind
And I
of
have brought
roleplay
with me
thing she's doing.
the sword of the eclipse.
The knight drew her blade, slowly and with purpose. The moment the hilt left the scabbard, a bright light radiated from the sword.
Ooh.
It was unspeakably beautiful. The weapon was split in two colors down the length of the fuller, one half as white as pure snow, and the other a black so deep it seemed like
That's
a
a
hole
cool
in the
design
air.
for a sword. I like that.
She leveled the sword at the dragon.
It has been many years since I last laid eye upon that blade. But, foolish rabbit, thou must know the legend. The sword of the eclipse is useless in the hands of a mere mortal. To strike a foe with it is to cast away one's own life. No.
I mean, to be fair, if you're avenging something, you don't really care about your own life in that case.
Wielded by a Lunarian. A
Lunarian?
dweller of the
This has
moon.
got to be some kind of
When they were
roleplay.
wiped out centuries ago, I saw to it myself.
Then again, also, Molly did mention in the show that
Not
her sister
all
had a
of them.
summoning epithet of some
Suddenly,
kind.
she cried out, a cry of power. Peals of brilliant moonbeams shot out from the slits in her visor, spearing into the dark
Whoa.
landscape. Everywhere the moonlight touched, flowers bloomed. Grass grew a bright, vibrant green, as if to defy the dead land around it. The knight's aura flared around her body, adding a second protective layer on top of her armor. The aura
Oh my,
extended
okay.
beyond her head, and two long appendages whisked past the edge of her helmet, forming a pair of majestic rabbit ears.
Hell, there we go. We're
My
going with the
father
serious
was the
rabbit
one
theme
who
for
taught
her.
me how to wield a sword, but this is the gift my mother bestowed upon me. My mother's secret bloodline technique. That's right. I am half Lunarian.
I love that exclamation there from the dragon. I don't know why. That was just very fun.
Impossible! They are but legend, nothing more than a myth.
They will say the same of you once you have been slain. Now come, beast. Come and face your demise.
The knight held her shining sword at the ready.
No!
The dragon's like already giving up at this point.
Could it really be true?
It's
just in shock more than anything, I think.
Eye, dragon.
The knight grinned.
What's wrong? Does it remember? Does the sight of my sword remind you of that day when my mother stole your other eye before you killed her?
Again, this is definitely like some kind of like roleplay thing, but it's a delightful little story that she's got going here.
No! Not ever!
With titanic force, the dragon swung its enormous body down to glare at the girl face to face. No longer silhouetted by the light of the pink sun, its horrendous form was plain to see. Its left eye had long since burned out, but the right seared with red fury, a single coal in an ancient earth, crimson and hellish. One last ember that hinted at the roiling fire deep inside the monster. The fire that had turned what was once a paradise into these scorched lands.
And I'm waiting for like the shoe to drop and reveal what's actually going on here. It's a fun fantasy story, but I'm like, this doesn't quite fit into the regular world that we know. There's something else going on here.
Of the dreaded S'more Dragon.
S'more Dragon? That's why it looks like that. It's meant to look like a burnt marshmallow. That's actually amazing.
Any sweetness that it once had burned away long ago in the bonfire of its belly. Now it sneered out at the world with hatred from underneath a crusty, ashen armor. Its chocolate scales once
Oh, it genuinely is like made of s'more. Okay.
With white fat bloom like lichen on a dead tree.
I haven't had s'mores in a while. I've been camping in a while, to be fair.
And glowed like a lava flow, and smoke poured from its mile-long spine like a steampunk skyline.
Steampunk skyline, nice. I love the way that Brennan describes everything here. It's awesome.
Teeth that morphed and melted as it spoke.
Marshmallow teeth. Graham cracker maw. That is, I love this. I love this creature even more now. I already love the design. It's even better now.
For your insolence.
It sneered and exhaled a burning hatred against her armor. The dragon hoped that the girl was scared. It could not see her unfazed smile behind her visor. She had waited for this day for too long to be scared of anything anymore.
Rejoice, dragon, for I am merciful. And though you do not deserve it, I shall grant you a kindness. I promise to end this in one blow.
The rabbit knight
held her that's a nice threat.
And pointed it straight at his belly. However, she was not holding it by the hilt. She had lifted the blade by the pommel, the far end of the weapon.
What?
It was massively heavy, but she held it with ease, a testament to her unparalleled strength. The dragon's
that's not how you hold a sword, like, at all.
Stance. No. The way the rabbit knight held her weapon was far too dainty. She outstretched her free hand into the empty air ahead of her.
Secret Lunarian technique!
The fingers on her free hand spun around in a flourish, and with a snap, a spark of iridescent light twinkled between her fingers. She brought her hand down in an arc and drew a brilliant rainbow through the air. She brought her
literally
arm behind
drawing
her,
with light,
then above, then all the way back to the front in a perfect circle, linking the ends of the rainbow together in a vibrant ring. The moment the circle was complete, the rainbow shimmered, solidifying from transparent color into an arc of solid light. She grabbed it with her free hand, and then drew the sword of the eclipse back towards her chest with the other. As she did, a second rainbow sprouted off of the ring and knocked itself into the pommel of the sword. She pulled it back like a drawstring on a bow.
Oh,
she wasn't going to slash the dragon with the sword.
She's got to stab it, like shoot it like an arrow. Okay.
The name of her attack rang out against the pink sky.
Mochi Moonbow!
Mochi Moonbow.
The Mochi Moonbow! No! That's the ultimate move!
That's right. This is
what
the
the
end,
heck?
Dragon.
The knight grinned as her aura like rabbit ears flared.
Aura like rabbit ears.
This is for my village!
No!
What was that?
The dragon cried.
That was another voice right there.
Than before.
Please, I didn't mean it.
It put its chocolate paws together in a pleading prayer. But the knight
oh my
could not be
gosh.
swayed. She pulled the
literally going, please, no.
This is for all the lives you've stolen with your flames.
Oh, I saw that. I saw that time. That's Molly calling on her sister there.
Aura surged in a series of sparkling white flourishes, flares, and dancing crosshairs. She would put everything she had into this attack. The moonbow shook. Its string quivered with enough power to launch a skyscraper. This would be the final blow!
Oh my gosh, love the narration.
It's for my family, who you burned!
An echo
okay,
punched into the
yeah,
fantasy.
Lorelai, I think your sister needs you.
Her bow faltered.
Come on, no, not now!
Something was wrong. The air of the scorched lands rippled, as if the sky was just a reflection in a pond that someone had poked. Then, without warning, Molly Blindef stuck her head through an opening in the air.
Hi, Molly.
You were supposed to do the dishes,
she said.
Oh, gosh.
Now I'm not gonna have enough time to make dinner and do my homework.
Oh my gosh.
Groaned with her entire body. Her stately posture evaporated, and the sparkling power dancing through her bow flickered away like a dying flashlight. The Rabbit Knight speared her sword into the ground in frustration and lifted her helmet. She tossed it to the floor in a tantrum, and it shattered
In a tantrum,
into
oh
sparkles like a
gosh.
falling star.
You are so annoying.
Oh gosh.
Lorelei Blinddeaf,
Yeah.
Molly's freckle-faced older sister. 17 years old and an absolute brat.
Oh
Her
gosh.
green eyes
Yeah.
were almost
I had a
like
feeling that
Molly's,
she
but
wasn't
just
gonna
a
be,
little
you
bit
know,
wrong.
very
The younger sister
good
had a
the way
quartet of
Molly
dots
was
in
describing
iris
her.
arranged like holes in a button, while Lori's trio of eye dots danced in a triangle, bottom side up. A radioactive warning label. Her hair
Warning
was the
about
color of
her
caramel,
her
dotted with
toxic
honeycomb
personality,
highlights
maybe.
that came together in a trio of blonde locks sticking out from the front, combed back into rabbit ears.
Oh, they're really
Teenager
going with the
glared
rabbit
at her little
motif
sister.
for her.
She had come here to yell at her again. That was all she ever did. Ugh. Molly's epithet could be used to make things quieter or to simplify them by dumbing them down. A volume dial to defend against sensory overload.
Yep.
Lorelei's epithet, augment.
Ooh,
was
augment.
sensory overload incarnate.
Oh.
Where the younger sister could make things quiet, the older sister could make them louder. That said, Lori's ability to
Okay.
manipulate noise wasn't the problem. The real issue was her ability to augment reality.
Oh gosh, that's actually
Ever
kind of
since she was
terrifying.
little, Lori could make what she
It's
called
kind of like
dream
Zora's
bubbles.
time manipulation
They
was
were a sort of
terrifying.
pocket
Reality
dimension,
manipulation
and
is also
inside each
scary.
one was an entire world where Lorelei could manifest whatever she wanted. High fantasy castles.
Oh, that's what she meant by
carnivals, ice
summoning
cream
epithet.
parlors,
Okay.
You name it. So long as she could dream it, she could create it. And little girls are very creative. That said, little girls can also be very stubborn.
Yeah.
Her powers had caused no shortage of difficulty for her parents growing up. When Lorelei was upset, she would lock herself away inside one of her dream bubbles for hours or even days.
And if
at a
she's still
time,
this bratty at
and there wasn't
17, she was
anything
probably
anyone could
worse
do
when she
about
was
it.
younger.
Her worlds looked as flimsy as
At least I hope she
cylindrical
was
spheres
worse
from
and that
the
she's getting
outside.
better. If she's
Something
gotten
you could
worse
pop
as
with a
she's gotten
finger.
older, that's not
In
good.
reality, their iridescent exterior was as hard as iron. When Lori
Oh,
was trapped in
gosh.
her own worlds, nobody could touch her. Nobody, except for Molly.
Uh-huh.
Molly's ability was the antithesis of Lorelei's.
That's
She
actually
could
kind of
dumb down
interesting.
an
I wonder
idea
if
until it
like
no longer existed.
maybe that's like if that's a
Simplify an
theme
entire
for like
paragraph
siblings who have
description to nothing
epithets.
but an ellipsis. Everything in Lori's worlds was created from nothing.
Yeah, clearly
And no
not
matter
every
how
sibling has an
complicated she
epithet
made
because
her
it's only
myths
20%
and
of the
magics and
population, but I still
monsters,
wonder
or
if
how
that
much
would be a
time she
common
spent
theme
on
if they
them,
would be
Molly
like the
could erase
antithesis
them.
of each other.
Lori hated her for that.
Oh
Molly
gosh.
never wanted to play along. Molly never cared about all the time Lori had spent designing things. She just came in to bother her, to yell at her, to make her do chores, to pick up a shift
Be
or help out at the
responsible.
counter
You're
because the store
17
was
years old.
busy.
Come on.
Her dumb little sister was absolutely no fun at all. Her dad understood, though. He was proud of her creativity.
Well,
and
your dad is a
encouraged it,
moron, so
taking
don't take that
ideas
as a
from her worlds to
compliment.
make new
Okay,
toys.
so that's the
He was
problem
always
here.
nice to Lorelei and didn't mind if she took some time off. Molly was in the middle of yet another practice speech about how she was feeling really overwhelmed lately and how it was
That's
probably
awesome art.
Lorelei's fault because, according to Molly, everything was her fault.
What a waste of time.
Lori stamped her foot to stop her mid-speech.
Fine.
She said,
If you have a problem with my work schedule, why don't we go and ask Dad about it?
she proposed the idea with an ugly smile.
We'll let him decide.
He always takes your side, though.
Yeah, because he sucks.
Yeah, probably because he actually likes me.
Oh, ow. That was uncalled for.
Molly stopped. Her face scrunched and pouted. The words had done more damage than Lori intended. Her sister had so much she wanted to say, but her planned speech crashed against her closed mouth like a dam. She looked down
Gosh.
at her boots, turned, and left, stepping back out through the portal the way she came. For a second, she almost looked back like she wanted to say something, but turned away again before she even made eye contact. The portal closed.
And it
Lori
just
put a
left her
hand on
back
her
in her
hips.
stupid little dream bubble. Gosh, Lorelei is very
She
much a
turned towards
brat.
the
Oh
sword
gosh,
dragon
I
who'd
mean,
been looming
I knew there was
above
the
the sisters
implication
the
that she
entire time
was
with an expression
not
of
great
petrified
with the way Molly
awkwardness.
talked about her in the
The kind you
series,
have when you're
but
at a friend's house and
oh
their parents
boy.
have a bad argument in the next room
gosh,
over.
Molly's existence is horrible.
Well,
Lori tapped her foot.
Oh, yeah.
Her creations are
The dragon
even
cleared its throat.
role playing with her basically.
Defeat you, knight. You'll never avenge your family.
Did you
She
forget
gawked
your
at him
line?
like an unsatisfied director.
that's terrible!
Lori flopped over like a doll that had been left out in the rain. Then she snapped back up.
Great! Now the moon is all shy. Oh, just forget it.
The dragon also had something to say, but it never got the chance. The rabbit knight snapped her fingers and it exploded into a mountain of moon dust.
Oh, wow.
Evil is defeated.
Lori rolled her eyes and spun a finger like a flag.
Again, I'm a little scared of her epithet, actually. The stuff that's that powerful is insane.
She folded her
Some of the other
arms.
ones are like, oh, that's a fun ability, but that one is... Stuff like this is scary.
A whole 2 hours of setup and play absolutely wasted. She huffed. She puffed. Stupid dragon. Stupid sister.
Oh, gosh.
She pretended that it was their fault that she felt so sour all of a sudden. She pretended that she had never really cared about getting revenge on the dragon in the first place. That it didn't matter. That it was all a fake story anyways, and that her family was fine. She tried to pretend that it was Molly's fault that her little sister was starting to cry as she left.
Ugh. She ruins everything.
Come on, Lorelai. Part of you's got to realize that it's a bit your fault here.
Prologue, the instructor.
All right. We do got another prologue here. That felt
crown
shorter than some of the other
Jazz City's
prologues.
multicolored skyline. A state-of-the-art research center towering 60 stories tall with glass windows polished so meticulously that a person could see one side of the building clear through to the other.
Oh, wow. Okay.
STEM didn't actually stand for anything.
What?
It was just a stylization. The company originally specialized in agriculture, and it made a name for itself by developing strains of fruit that could be grown in almost any climate, which was a valuable innovation in a country with so much permafrost. The STEM building itself dedicated more than 70% of its floor
So
space
it doesn't
to vertical
stand
farming.
for science, technology,
Massive
engineering, and
indoor orchards
mathematics?
yielded crops year-round. The company began
Sure, why
rapidly
not?
expanding a few years back. And
I-
in almost
my
no
brain
time
is
at all, they'd
struggling to
become a
wrap
huge
around that.
conglomerate. STEM seemed to have its hands in a little bit of everything. Robotics, fashion, entertainment, civil planning, nanomachines, you name it. The STEM
Okay,
logo was
then.
popping up practically everywhere these days. This rapid growth was attributed to the business acumen of the company's current CEO. He was famous for
Okay,
his silver
who it-
tongue and always knowing what to say to make business negotiations go smoothly.
That sounds
On
like
top of that,
potentially
the
an
company had a
epithet.
unique hiring policy. They actually prioritized hiring
Oh.
Mundies over inscribed.
That's
In
actually
most
really
places,
interesting.
Being inscribed was a huge benefit on a job application. After all, if you're going to pick an intern to brew your coffee, then you might as well hire the one who can levitate the cup with his mind.
I mean,
It's
that's
neat,
fair.
It's cool. It's irreplaceable. Better to be bad at your job than to be mundane. This mentality was all too commonplace in the business world. But STEM was different.
Okay,
STEM believed
that-
it was important to cultivate
That,
all talents,
that immediately
not
gives
just
STEM
inborn
like a
ones.
positive
The
light,
company
but
made a
I don't
habit of
trust
headhunting
anything.
innovative
I learned very
intelligent
quickly
people
in
in
this
society
in this
left
series
behind
not
in
to
favor of
trust
their
anything at
inscribed
face
competition.
value.
In the current market, there were plenty of such people, and so the company flourished. This also meant that the company had excellent PR among Mundi communities, which didn't hurt their sales.
I mean, considering most
Of
people
course,
are Mundies.
It's more than possible that the reason the company operated this way was that the CEO was a Mundi himself.
Oh, okay. So
The valet
it's
was
not an
waiting for the
epithet that
CEO
helps.
right now. He stood in the sub-basement of the STEM building in an underground parking garage, leaning against a sleek-looking limousine and smoking a cigarette. He'd pulled the car around 10 minutes ago for the usual weekly appointment, but his boss still wasn't there.
Oh,
The valet exhaled a stream of smoke and stared at the set of elevators against the wall. One of those elevators, the one that required a key, went straight up to the CEO's penthouse.
Oh, lovely.
He's probably popping champagne in his private pool or something and forgot what day it was.
The valet thought, sighing smoke.
Lucky jerk.
The valet hated this part
So
of the
it's a
job.
successful company,
Felt
but
like a waste of time.
already
He
starting to
wasn't
think the
even
way
here to
the
drive the man
valet's
anywhere.
talking about him, that the CEO
had
may
his
not
own
be a nice
private
guy.
Chauffeur for that, because of course he did. No, all the valet was there to do was pull the car around. He rolled his eyes and groaned internally. He's going to miss out on his break at this rate.
Oh, gosh.
About a minute later, the lights on the private elevator's display clicked on.
Oh.
60, 59, 58, 55, 51, 42, 30,
That's
19, 5.
skipping some floors
The
there.
numbers were going down fast. Too fast. Almost like the elevator was falling or something. The elevator hit B3 with a somewhat audible thud and a crackle. For a moment, the valet was worried that the cable
Yeah,
had snapped
no,
or
that's-
something, but the doors swung open, same as usual, and out skipped a woman.
Come on, Slowpoke! We're gonna be late!
That
The girl trotted over to the limo, turning circles mid-hop to check if the slowpoke in question
She,
was following
like,
her.
based on
She
just
was
the
wearing
silhouette there,
smart-looking,
reminds
sterile
me
white
of the-
uniform typical of STEM employees, along with a matching driver's cap.
the Bliss Ocean
Slowpoke,
errand girl.
For his part, teetered out of the elevator on unsteady legs like he was seasick and had just fallen off a boat. Coming, he
What the
croaked.
heck?
He wobbled towards the limo like a newborn deer. His face was
Is that the
deathly pale,
CEO?
and he looked nearly
Not what I
ready
was
to
expecting.
topple over. As he passed the valet, he offered him a weak smile and an apologetic nod.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Hurry up and get it!
The chauffeur
Oh,
tapped her foot
gosh.
at rapid speed and spoke to her boss in a manner that should absolutely have gotten her fired. She swung open the car door and slipped in, slamming on the horn immediately. Beep, beep.
Come on, Naven!
Naven.
Naven Nucknuck, the CEO of STEM. The valet
Yeah, no,
had
not
dropped
what I was
the limo
expecting
off
for the
a dozen
CEO the way they
times
described
before,
him.
But no matter how many times he saw him, he just couldn't help but be unimpressed by this man.
That's
CEO
fair,
of a
honestly.
multinational conglomerate, world-renowned for his business savvy, and a major mover and shaker in the financial world. When people picture that kind of person in their head, they usually imagine a fat cat in a $5,000 suit smoking a cigar from the top of a high-rise with a
I didn't
personal
think
vending
fat, but the
machine
rest of that,
serving
yeah,
drinks.
that was what was in my
That
head.
image couldn't be further from the truth. Naven was a pale man of underwhelming height who wore Argyle
Underwhelming
sweater vests, white gloves, and little shoulder capes. The sort of ensemble a weird theater kid might wear to a doomed first date.
Ooh.
He had a mop of bizarre hair the color
Ouch,
of a
but that
neon
makes
green
sense.
highlighter, and there was always a meek, apologetic smile on his face. His eyes were squinted shut like a harlequin doll staring into the sun. Tabloids often speculated about what the elusive CEO was really like. He was infamous for almost never meeting with more than one business partner at a time in person, opting instead for video calls on a private line. He never showed up to
Interesting.
press conferences either. The media treated him like some kind of man of mystery, but the truth was that the guy was just sickly.
Oh,
He constantly had
okay.
headaches and shied away from people, even those who worked for him. The only ones who ever seemed to spend any
Constantly
real
have
time with
headaches
him were
and
his
your
endlessly rotating
chauffeur
parade of
here is just, like,
chauffeurs. The valet
screeching
almost
at you
never
like
saw
that?
The same one twice. There's always a woman, though, and always about the same build.
Oh.
Today's model was some gothy-looking chick who had ebony black hair with purple streaks in it. She was ruder than most of Naven's girls, but not by much. They were always pretty outspoken. And always pretty.
Yeah.
The tabloids had noticed this as well.
I bet they
snapped a few
did. That's the
pictures
kind of
him
thing
with
they
different drivers
love.
And collaged them into a cover page. STEM CEO, businessman, and womanizer, it screamed in an accusatory
That
yellow
absolutely is
font.
what
There
a
wasn't
tabloid
any
would put on its
evidence
cover
to
for
support
someone.
This, besides the
That
photos.
is the most
It was hard to prove negative,
realistic
so
thing
the
that's
public
happened in
latched
this
onto
book
it,
so far.
as had some of STEM's employees.
Lucky jerk.
The valet thought again, casting a sidelong glance at the chauffeur.
I guess girls really do chase after guys with lots of cash. Even guys like this.
He stared at the man trundling out of the elevator. Naven wasn't exactly ugly or anything, but he was the kind of guy you could squeeze out of a tube of toothpaste.
What?
The man had the constitution of a wet sock.
Oh, gosh.
See you next week, said the wet sock, looking about
Said the
15
wet
seconds
sock.
away from throwing up. The valet nodded and watched as Naven let himself into the back seat of the limo. The instant the door was closed, the chauffeur took off like a rocket, wheels screeching around the bend and out of sight.
Oh, gosh.
Jeez. None of his girls can drive either.
The valet wasn't wrong. Chauffeur's driving.
Again, I don't trust her. She looks a bit too much like that electric gremlin girl.
Fast and erratic, yet somehow completely accurate, like a bullet train zipping through a marshalling yard or a dollar bill on a fishing line. The driver grinned.
If we keep running late like this, we're going to get arrested, you know?
She
What?
said
If
it in
you're
a
gonna
sing-songy
run late, you're
way
gonna get
that dripped
arrested?
With a concerning amount of excitement. You didn't have to override the elevator, Naven sighed. His stomach was still doing
Wait,
flips.
so she did just make the elevator drop.
She laughed.
You said these classes were too important to be late for and that your work was too important to skip. So the only thing left to cut out is the transit time. Whoop!
Oh,
The limo
gosh.
whipped around a corner and shot through a back alley to avoid a traffic jam. Dubiously legal at best.
It wouldn't be a
At
problem
best,
if you
I
went so
wouldn't even give it
slow.
that.
Slow poke, slow polka dot. Band that only plays slow polka music.
We get it. We get it.
Naven sighed
What the
again.
heck?
The reason he was running late today was because of the museum robbery last week.
Oh, really?
His organization had several investments in that museum. The unexpected break-in had really thrown a wrench in things, and now his subordinates were all scrambling to reschedule.
Okay.
He couldn't just leave them in the lurch like that. Naven always ran himself ragged trying to help other people. It was one of the many reasons he seemed so exhausted all of the time. Naven was the kind of person who would adopt every stray on the street if nobody was around to stop
Okay, that's
him.
sweet at
His
least.
coworkers made fun of him for it, the girl in the driver's seat especially.
I can
All
get
told,
that.
He sort of deserved the hazing. Naven didn't have the time or energy to take on more work, but still, he couldn't help himself. The man was fatally empathetic.
I mean, at
A
least
few months back, he'd gone out
that's a
on an
kind
errand, and
flaw
by
to
the time he
have.
came
It's
home,
not like
he'd
a
somehow agreed
flaw
to
of
start
being,
giving
you know, a
speech
horrible
classes
person.
to a young girl that he had literally just met.
Wait, speech
She needed
classes?
help
What?
learning to communicate, and interpersonal communication was his specialty. How could he not help? How could he say no when she asked if her friends could join the class as well? The same part of him that wanted
Wait,
to
if
help
her
the
friends could
Mundys
join
of
the class-
world
is this
made
gonna
it
be
impossible
Molly,
to turn his back on a group of children in
Phoenica,
need
and
of his
Trixie?
assistance? Sure, it was hard to come up with a lesson plan in addition to
Is
all
this
of the
Molly
business
trying to, like, you
meetings
know,
and
part of
side
her trying to make
projects his
herself more
organization
assertive is
took
taking
on?
speech
But he couldn't
classes?
stop now. The students had come a long way, and one of them in particular was showing a lot of potential.
Okay, then.
Suddenly, far too suddenly, the car came to an abrupt halt. The outside of the vehicle lurched, but the interior and its occupants stayed perfectly still.
Oh,
as if
gosh.
they'd anticipated this sort of driving and installed gyroscopic
I mean, you're
hydraulics.
probably like what you
The chauffeur
anticipated
stuck her
from
feet
this
up on the
crazy person.
dashboard.
Here we are, right on time.
The limousine had pulled up next to the blind deaf toy emporium.
Yep, I knew it.
Naven
I
popped
knew
open
it.
the door and daintily stepped out of the car.
You sure you don't want to come?
He gave her a playful smile, knowing full well she wouldn't be interested. He pushed up his glasses.
You were supposed to be my bodyguard, after all.
Oh, please.
The chauffeur snorted, rolling up the window.
What could possibly happen in a boring old speech class?
Well, Lorelai's in a bad mood, and she's got a powerful epithet. So, oh, that was the end of it. Wow, those were much shorter. Much shorter. Dang, much shorter prologues than last time. But yeah, I guess that does confirm what I was thinking, that the girl he's giving speech classes to is probably Molly, because again, they pull up the blind deaf toy emporium and say like her friends could join. It's definitely going to be Phoenica and Trixie. Okay, interesting. Again, a lot shorter than those first two, which I'm okay with, because the first two were focused on characters that we already knew, and then this one was mainly just introducing new characters, so I'm glad we spent more time with the characters that we already know and love. But we've officially met Molly's sister, Lorelai, and yeah, she's a brat. If she's, you know, Martin's favorite daughter, that makes sense, because Martin is an awful person. So but there you go. We have officially met more of our cast, and we still haven't reached the beach. Yeah, because again, like the final scene that we got in the actual show showed Molly and her friends on a beach, and there was another guy there who we haven't seen yet. He did not match the CEO guy there. It's completely different colored hair, completely different palette of colors there. But so we haven't gotten there yet. I wonder if we'll see that in these first couple chapters of the book here, because we still have at least 2 more chapters to go through, and that we're not even at the halfway point of this video. So I'm thinking that these are going to be like actually like full length chapters or something here, which is kind of crazy to think that like this next video might be a super long one. I'm just saying, I was trying to avoid doing super long videos, but there's still like an hour and 20 left in this audiobook preview. So this next reaction video is probably going to be a long one, because I'm still going to stick to my plan of doing 2 chapters per thing. We'll see. Honestly, I might split it. This might end up being 4 videos instead of 3. I'll play it by ear. When we finish chapter 1, I'll check how much time is left to see if chapter 2 is shorter or not. And if it is, I'll just watch it. If it's still longer, then this might end up being, like I said, 4 videos instead of 3 reacting to this, which I'm okay with. I'm okay with that. Doing more videos on this is always fun. But yeah, no, we have finished now the prologues for Prison of Plastic, and we are going to jump into the actual main story now. It really does feel like the prologues were just introducing us to the characters for the story. Again, I am suspicious of that chauffeur. Her silhouette and her attitude definitely reminds me of the Bliss Ocean officer, the little gremlin errand girl. And I put a comment on my finale reaction, but I do understand that in that one I completely, for some reason, misheard it. There are 4 officers of Bliss Ocean, and if Zora is number 3, then it means that either the electric girl or the hooded person is number 4 and is below Zora. And considering that the electric girl is described as an errand girl, I wouldn't be shocked if she was the one below Zora and then the hooded one was above her. And then clearly Kaleidoscope Eye Man, or even man, I don't know, it was a distorted voice. Could be a woman, I don't know. But the Kaleidoscope leader is, like I said, the leader, number 1 officer. But there we go. That was very fun. A lot shorter than I was expecting for this one. But that might just mean that I'm going to be splitting the next parts of the audiobook into 2 videos instead of just 1. So there you have it. That was my reaction to Prologue C and D for Epithet Erased, Prison of Plastic. Again, very fun. We've officially met Lorelei Blind Death, Molly's sister. Holy crap, she's a horrible person. But considering the fact that the book specifically describes her as trying to put the blame on Molly for the fact that she was crying there, gives me hope that Lorelei is going to have some character development here and actually realize, oh, I've been treating my sister like crap. I'm a horrible person. I should change that. I do hope that is part of the arc of this story. But again, clearly Molly's going to be a big focus of this. She was featured in 2 of the 4 prologues of this, and the 3rd one was going to where Molly is, and the 2nd one even set up like Giovanni reuniting with Molly. I'm very happy with that. Again, she is such a fun character. I think her voice actress does such a good job portraying her. She's just an adorable little bean. So that was a lot of fun checking this out. Again, Naven. Hold on. How was this pronounced? I forgot already. How do you pronounce this guy's name? Naven. Thank you. I totally forgot right there. Again, I suck at names. It usually takes me a little bit to get used to a character's name, but so the fact that we just met this guy in the last half of this video, I don't have it quite in my memory yet. But Naven, is going to be like our connecting thread to get to Molly here. And I like how he has no idea probably. I expect he has no idea that this little girl that he is giving, speech lessons to, is actually part of the whole museum chaos. Like, obviously she was absolutely the victim in all that. She was dragged around by the bonsai blaster. She was dragged around by Mara and Indus. She was absolutely the victim in that. But I get the feeling that Naven has no idea that Molly was involved in that. I'm curious if he would ever find out and what his reaction to that would be. But there you go. The prologues for this book are done. And next time, I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm probably going to end up splitting the rest of this audiobook preview into 2 videos instead of just doing 1 like I originally planned. Because like I said, an hour and 20 is a lot to react to in 1 video. So I'm thinking that what I'll do is this next one will just be chapter 1. And then the chapter 2, which I assume is going to be the last part there because it's 6 chapters. We've gone through 4 prologues so far. And then that will be its own video that I'll also do. So it's going to end up being a total of 5 videos on Prison of Plastic because, like I keep saying, after all these reactions to the audiobook preview, I will be actually reviewing the full book after I finish reading it. I'm reacting to the audiobook preview before I read the book. That way I can get like the characters' names and looks and their voices and stuff in my head before jumping into it. And it's also just a fun way to get more videos on this series because I think it's really fun. I really think that this world is really cool. And I'm looking forward to see where it's going to go from here. Again, this last one felt like it was the most out of place of them because it was almost entirely new characters, but we're already setting up how this is going to connect to everything else because he has arrived at the Blind Deaf's store and he is definitely going to be giving those lessons to Molly and her friends. So looking forward to see how this is going to go now that the story is going to officially start up, now that the introductions are done, and seems like I get to do an extra video than I planned out of this, so I will gladly take that. But anyway, that's going to do it for this video. Hope you all enjoyed it. Please drop a like or comment down below if you did. Or subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you all on the next one. Bye, guys!